so that you get your reminder.
Oh, that's interesting. What does that knob do? I love that about this mixer. There's still knobs that I'm like, what does that knob do?
Oh, man.
Where does that audio go? Oh, and I was not hearing you just a couple of minutes ago. I don't know if you could tell, but because I took the main output out of my headphones when I was changing things. So
that does it. So that you get your reminder.
No, I did not. That's interesting.
Do you have reminder notifications turned off?
No, because I get reminders for other things when I tell Siri to remind me about stuff.
Okay. So that's still broken.
It could still be broken. I might have an update. I'm going to go look because I don't know. I've been dealing with Apple. Apple's nice. I like Apple. Apple support, that is.
Yeah. While Mike's looking at it, what we were talking about is we were talking on the phone the other day, and Mike set a reminder from the phone app to remind him to call me. And I was just wondering if he actually ever got that reminder to pop up.
I wonder if I didn't get the reminder because I was on the call with you already, and so it assumed that
you had already. I wonder, but I don't know, because I could foresee scenarios where I'm talking to you and it's like, okay, well, I'll give you a call back in an hour. I'll give you a call back, later, and I still need to set a reminder for that. So that wouldn't be the expected behavior on my end, but who knows what Apple thinks.
So I went to calls.
Oh man, I cannot use a laptop with this setup.
And I'm going to hit remind me in 1 hour. Okay. So, hold on. What did that just say? Oh, that's interesting. So you called me at 6:57 p.m., right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay. So let me explain to you how this works, because we did not realize this on the phone, probably because I didn't notice it. So the call screen is pretty robust, and I don't know if there's been an update since we did this. I'm checking up one other thing real quick. Again, what we're about to talk about will likely change. Okay. So when I went into my call screen, not screen calls, there's a difference in there. When I went to my call screen in the phone app, it shows me all of my recent calls with voicemail, which I really do appreciate that. That could be cleaned up a little bit, but I do appreciate it. It's kind of nice to have it all in one tap, right?
Yeah.
I saw your FaceTime audio call at 6:57 at the top of the list. I flicked up twice, maybe 3 times, to get to remind me in 1 hour. Now, before I did this, I know that this wasn't there. So when I flicked up and I double tapped, it said call from Damashe Thomas 8:18 p.m. And I didn't realize what that meant, but what that was 1 hour from right now, telling me that that's when that reminder is going to go off. Then when I flicked to the right from that entry, it said recent heading. And when I flicked to the left, it said call from Damashe 8:18 p.m. And then I flicked to the left again and it said reminders heading. So it added a section for reminders in the call app, or in the call screen of the phone app. So we'll see if it actually reminds me in 1 hour to call you. And we may or may not be recording then. So if we're not, then follow at Payown, P-A-Y-O-W-N, on Mastodon at dragonscave.space, or the hashtag technically working hashtag, and we will post there. And the bot might repost my post when I post it.
Possibly.
Maybe. We'll see.
Who knows?
Yeah. That bot works in mysterious ways. Almost like GitHub.
So hopefully we should not be having any internet dropouts.
Yeah, hopefully.
Because we got the fiber in. hooked up. Been hooked up for a bit over 24 hours. We don't know, 48 hours.
48, because you called me after 24.
Yeah. Yeah. No, bit over 48 hours. And first off, no packet loss or jitter or internet outage reports from the Unified Dream Machine. So that is a positive for sure. And we'll see how things go. The Spectrum lady was like, wait, you just got it turned on and you're canceling your, wow. I was like, yeah, that's how we're doing it. But yeah, everything has been solid with the fiber since they got it hooked up. So looking good. Maybe no more, Zoom telling me my internet connection is unstable.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. You almost sound like you have new internet.
Yeah. Well, got the microphone at a decent level. I'm also not holding that in my hand.
That's good. You
boom on the shelf did not work.
Yeah. Yeah. Hanging down from the shelf.
Yeah.
There's got to be a way to do that, though.
It just probably requires some more equipment. I did try the Rode also. I went and took that off the desk outside. And I forgot until I had put it up here that, if I turn that upside down, it's not going to stay in there because it doesn't have a tightening screw. It basically holds itself in place, by inertia. So that one's going to work either. But yeah, I'm going to do some research. I'll probably maybe put in a call. Unless anybody else has some, suggestions, you can send those to feedback at technicallyworking.show for sure. Or follow us and mention us on Mastodon if you have suggestions. But I'll probably give a call over to Tamir at Sweetwater, see if he's got any ideas.
Do you have a contact card for Tamir?
Yes, I do.
You should share that with me. Because I don't have his direct info, and I go to someone else, and I want to talk to Tamir. And last time I called, and I got the switchboard, I'm like, can you transfer me to Tamir? And they're like, do you know Tamir's last name? I'm like, no. He's the only Tamir. Like, shouldn't need a last name.
Really, man? Really? This is
you guys really have multiple Tamirs working for you?
Like, try typing that in and see if you come up with the right person. Like, let's try that.
That'd be like someone calling AT guys and wanting to speak with Damashe, and the person answering asking for your last name.
What's his last name? He's like, what?
I think what happened is the person couldn't spell Tamir, so they're like, maybe his last name's easier to spell.
Okay.
I could see that.
That totally could have been it. New recording setup slightly, though. I'm going to play around with some way to put a adjustable arm so it can float. Because right now what I'm doing is I have a very small, actually it's not even a tripod. Is it a tripod? It has 3 legs, but it doesn't do anything. Except be 3 legs. So basically I got tripod legs, and then I have one of these invisible selfie sticks, the single stick that's apparently with these 360 cameras, it's able to fade those out or whatever, phase those out so they don't show up in your recording so you get the full 360 view. Anyway, I got one of those with the microphone sitting on top of that. And I have that adjusted up to a height where the microphone is in front of me. But because it's so close and it's on the floor coming up in front of me, it means I can't use my laptop. So the laptop is over behind the microphone sitting on top of my suitcase. So that means you can't vibe code it while you're recording a podcast episode. Nope. Man, it sucks to be you. Yeah, it does. I can't vibe code. I can't look up anything. I can't do any of that stuff at the moment. Yeah. But I'll try to come up with a slightly better solution. I do want to follow up a little bit on the H5 Studio because I played a bit more with that today. Only today? Huh? You said you've been playing with that today? Yeah, a little bit. And I said only today? Yeah, just today. Because I finally went and looked up the manual and went and downloaded the firmware update and all of that. Pretty robust of a recorder. So 4 knobs that are on the front are all gain. The 2 at the top, as I described it, the 2 at the very top, closest to where your XY mics are by default, will control the left and right XY mic. So you could actually have those set at different levels. Same with the shotgun mic attachment, which does work. So anything that's labeled as a 3.0 additional attachment from Zoom will work on the H5 Studio. The H6 was the first thing that supported those, but this also works. I was able to hook up the shotgun mic and that worked fine. Gain knobs at the bottom are obviously for XLR 1 and 2 input. and it has apparently a loop back feature that I'm playing with, sort of, because I turned it on and Mike didn't hear himself. So we're going to keep going, and I'm going to record and see if Mike's voice actually gets onto the recording some kind of way. We did that one time, and I don't know how I did it.
What? How you captured my voice? But
yeah, on the Zoom on the H6, I think it was. Yeah. And like I went back to play the track back, and I was like, wait, how did I get Mike? I don't even know how I made that happen.
Surprise!
But it happened. Well, it's good because it makes for another option for a backup method, right? Like if you can consistently do it. But I think the H5 Studio for now is probably going to be my travel, or it'll be in my portable setup, which is what I'm using right now. So I think I've moved over to that from the H4 that I was using, mostly because I can take the mics off and just put the little cap on top of here, and I don't have to worry about possibly breaking the mics.
Can you use H6 attachments and the H5 Studio together?
Yeah, that's what I was saying about the Capsule 3.0 stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so that XLR attachment that they sell would also fit on this, which would give you a total of 4 XLRs, and you have independent gain level. Physical gain levels for all 4 channels. So that's nice. One interesting thing about this for people, if they are interested in buying it, the XY mics are much bigger on the H5 Studio. It's one of its reasons for existing is bigger mics. But also on the side of that mic capsule is a line in for a, like a plug-in mic, like a lav mic or something like that. And you have the ability to go turn on powered mic mode. So I guess you won't get that message that says too much power is being drawn and we're shutting it down. But it's on the capsule.
Phantom power or?
I don't know. They just say mic power. So I'm guessing it's a version of that maybe for some of the little plug-in mics that you can use that may require more power, more juice. It's weird to me that the jack though is just like on the side of the XY microphone,
right?
Capsule, like, because I was looking at the manual, which they have a nicely laid out HTML manual now, so I got to link those up.
Nice.
But I was looking at the manual, and it's like, yeah, there's a input for a microphone. It's like there's not another jack on this side of this thing. What are you talking about? And I read somewhere a little further down that it was on the side of the capsule. I was like, oh, well, maybe if I put the capsule back on here, then I'll see this jack you're talking about. But yeah, it will use those same attachments that the H6 launched with, or came out shortly after the H6 launched. So shotgun mic, they do have a wireless lavalier module that's supposed to be coming out at some point. They say 2026, so
okay, never mind. I won't get too excited about it then.
No, that's kind of how it was. So I was like, oh, really? Oh, 2026.
Yeah, never mind. I'll just use this DJI wireless 2-go mic and run them into the mixer, and then run the audio from the mixer into an H5 Studio. Like, I'm wondering if that would be a decent audio interface. It's any outputs on that or just headphone out?
There's also a line out.
Okay. So I could run line out into the mixer and route the audio through the mixer to different destinations.
Yep.
But I think the H6 also has line out, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Quick side note, huge shout out to Harper. Harper's amazing. I don't even know you, Harper, but I want to get to know you.
Who is Harper?
Harper.bog.
Oh, Harper.bog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Harper Lee.
Really appreciate him or them.
You said something about running audio, having everything hooked up. Oh, the DJIs. You were like, you're going to hook
run the DJIs into the mixer and then route audio through the mixer to both the Yamaha speaker that I have here and to the H5 Studio, and then capture the audio from the H5 Studio and send that into Zoom. And there's a hybrid solution. And then if I need to bring Zoom out, I can send Zoom's output into the H5. Now, what I'm curious about, can you pick what comes out of the line out jack?
Don't know the answer to that question yet.
I just discovered today, and I'm like, there's got to be a way to do this, but you can mute the host mic from coming out of the headphones on the Vocaster. So that way I can send audio out from Zoom from the Vocaster through the headphone jack. And then I can turn the knob above my mic because right now everything is going to control room. And now my mic is going to the speaker and your audio is going to the speaker right now. So if you talk, then if you're too low, I can just adjust you. Oh, whoa. There's some feedback. I can adjust you up, though, if I need to, in order to adjust those levels. Whereas if my audio was going to the Vocaster itself, and then coming back through the headphones, then there would be double my audio, though it doesn't sound too horrible because it's pretty much in sync with what everything else is going through the mixer. But B, if I turn up the audio from Zoom, like the Zoom feed, if I turn that up, that also turns up my audio. Yeah. And there's a lot of cases where I don't want to do that. I just want to turn up Zoom and not my audio. So in the Vocaster Hub software, under the mixer, I think it was, you can go in and hit the mute button, and that doesn't actually mute the input of the host, but it does mute the host from being monitored in the headphone jack.
Oh, okay. That may be new-ish, meaning like it wasn't there originally, I don't think.
I don't think it was.
Well, good deal.
Yeah.
So that solves that problem. Yeah. So your setup sounds like for live or hybrid event is going to be the setup that you're using right now. You just grab the Vocaster, the mixer, the speaker, laptop.
Yep. And then
you need a Pelican case.
I do. I got to see some today, or not today, but this year because of Encore, which is the on-site audio team. Well, audio and internet and video. But they had Pelican cases for all of their stuff. I'm like, man, I really need to invest in some of these because that would be nice.
Yeah, then you have to worry about checking that stuff on the plane and it getting broke. Yeah, because that would be the worst. You get back and find out, somebody cracked a circuit and now the whole thing is dead.
Yeah. So, there's that. We have something we got to work through. I think we'll have a solution for it, but I'm just letting you know because, we're technically working. By the way, we are all over the place today, but that's the show. October is going to be a rough month for us, just so you know.
Yeah, we'll get some.
17th through the 19th, I'm at a convention. October 20th through the 26th, I'm on a cruise. And then it looks like October 31st through November 2nd, I'm at another convention.
You mean you don't want to just record the show while you're on your cruise?
I mean, I can record the show I'm on the cruise, but I'm not uploading it to you on the cruise. I don't know if I'd record a show on a cruise either, because that might not be good internet. Your Spectrum internet might have seemed good compared.
Yeah. No, I don't think I would go for that one unless like we were in person on the cruise and we're like, we'll sit down over here and then we'll record the show out here and then we'll upload it when we dock or something.
The changes are complete and air free. I love to see that message.
Good deal. So I got a little reporting. Yeah, we'll figure some stuff out. Like we got guests that we got to get on anyway. There's a few other people that have been highlighted to me, suggested to me by JJ actually to get them on the show.
Oh, so, okay.
We will do that.
Like you and JJ could come on and just take over the show too.
Yeah, we could. JJ never in place, and honestly, October is probably gonna be a little weird for everybody because I think Colorado is October. Michigan is sometime around then. Texas is coming.
Colorado is that same weekend that I'll be in Washington.
Yeah. So there's conventions all over the place. Yeah. Who knows where Georgia's is going to be this year? So we may end up in Georgia. Who knows? But we will get some content recorded. Like we did. I mean, we did pretty fairly well, I think, for a convention week.
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't miss any.
Didn't miss a single one. I've been playing around a little bit more with these. So I've been using the Android phone, as I said, as my primary. So there are some things I have discovered that are good and some things that are not great. For example, something that Apple does. So something I expected to have on Android that is not there is like the ability to just plug in an account. Did I talk about this last week?
No.
Okay. So, there's the account section on Android, just like there is on iOS. And you go in and where you add your accounts, like your Google account, your, Outlook account or whatever. You can add an IMAP email account there. What you can't do is add a CalDAV for calendars or a CardDAV for contacts account directly there. Apparently you need a third-party app to make this work. So, my contacts and my calendars that I have set up on CalDAV and CardDAV servers that are just running and you just plug in the address and your username and password, I can't get those on the Pixel till I find some third-party app that I don't know if I want to waste the time to try to figure out their privacy policy before I install it and plug in my credentials. So super annoying. That's something I would have expected to be there. If somebody was not going to do that, I would have expected it to be Apple, not Google, honestly. Google Messages is nice. I figured out how to get Google Messages on the iPhone.
Right.
With Beeper. Beeper's that app that was doing iMessage at one point in time, and then Apple was like, yeah, so stop that. They got bought by Automatic and they just released a new version, but Google Messages now come in on the iPhone. Too bad I just can't get it to go the other way with iMessage, to the Android, because that would be ideal, scenario.
Now, you have a unique issue with iMessages in Android, don't you?
I do have a very unique issue, which is weird. Yeah, we didn't talk about this because I just figured it out. So here's the thing. Not everybody I talked to was on iMessage anyway. So, not a big deal. But Mike was on iMessage. Tia was on iMessage. A few other people on iMessage. Everybody else that was in iMessage, when I switched my numbers back to the Pixel, just started getting RCS messages from me. For most of them. There's a few people that don't get RCS. I don't know what their problem is with their phone, but that's their problem. But everybody else is getting RCS messages, including Tia. If I send her a message from the phone, it goes out as a RCS message. When she replies to the exact same message there that I just sent her a message from, it goes to iMessage. It does not make it to the Android phone. Nobody else does that happen for. Like Mike just seamlessly, switched over to
RCS.
Everybody else that was on iOS seamlessly just went over to, and I did disable those numbers or deactivate those numbers in iMessage. So I have no idea. That is she's the only person that this has happened with, and it's still happening, right? If she texts my Spirals number, that goes to the Pixel as it should. But If she tries to reply to a message that I send her from my personal number, nope. Goes back to iMessage.
How does it show up to her when you send her a message?
That's something I should look at because I hadn't thought about that. I assume because on my end it shows RCS that it just shows up as an RCS message, but that's a good question.
Because if it shows up as an iMessage, there's something wrong with that app.
Oh, there's something really weird about that. And I need to understand how I did that.
Yeah. Well, good. Oh, you're going to break something, GitHub. You're going to break something. When it starts talking about, I'm going to move this widget. And I'm like, you're going to break something, GitHub. With Android, what are some apps that you're using on a regular basis? Or are you not really using a lot of third-party apps?
So honestly, I'm not using a whole lot of apps. But I've kind of honestly found myself in that situation on iOS too. Like there's certain apps I use all the time. So I'm in Gmail, in and out of Gmail a bit, not a ton, but a bit. Of course, banking apps, What else do I use? Lookout quite a bit. Apple Music. I switched over to Pocket Cast from our podcast app, and it's working on iOS and Android. So whichever phone I happen to have, like I can listen to a show, which is why I FaceTimed you earlier because I was on the iPhone. I was listening to a show on the iPhone, and the Pixel was somewhere else. I also don't have Hey Google set up.
Ah, okay. Is it Hey Google or is it Hey Gemini now?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Probably still says Hey Google. So we should say Hey Gemini, so we don't set off people's stuff by saying Hey Google. Go rate. Technically working 5 stars in YouTube. I want to give people. Go ahead. I was going to say I have been looking around at like different apps, so I have not found, for example, like a RSS app that I wanted to take a peek at.
Write one yourself.
Yeah.
Vibe coded, damn it.
A little too involved. I don't care that much because there'll be some weird edge bug with TalkBack, and then I'll have to figure that out, and then I won't get anything else done.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, I just hadn't looked at any. I took a quick look to see if Net Newswire, because I thought because it was open source that it may have been on Android, but I didn't immediately come across one, and I was like, I guess I'll poke around and look. Did go to the accessible Android and look at a few apps that they have there. There's an app that I want to play with called Automate, I think.
Yep, I've heard of it.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look and play around with that, because one problem I want to solve is getting a different ringtone based on the number that is being called. Not the person that is calling, but the number that they're calling.
That's clever. Yeah, I could see the value. So I use a tool called, what do we use for work? We use Ring Central. So we use Ring Central. And what's really cool is I have my own custom ringtone set that it's not really a custom ringtone. It's just one of the Apple ringtones, right? And that's what plays when someone calls me. And then Ring Central has a different ringtone. So I know when it's Ring Central ring without even having to look at the screen. So I can just pick up my phone, 2-finger double tap, say, thanks for calling American Council of Blind. This is Michael. How can I help you? Without even having to look at anything. And that's really valuable.
Yep. That is extraordinary.
And it has a different vibration pattern too.
Yeah. I see. That is a feature I would have expected to see, honestly, on both platforms, since they're both so deeply, especially with Apple being so deeply invested in eSIM and dual SIM being everywhere at this point. Is like, that seems like an obvious feature that just does not exist. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to try to make it work with Automate, or I think that's the name of it. I'm going to try that one out first before I go to the Hammer, which is Tasker, and figure it out that way. But other than, I would say, Pocket Cast, there's some on GPT I've been using a little bit over there. I don't know. I find myself not picking up the phone as much except for communication stuff. Honestly, other than occasionally playing music or listening to a podcast on the Pixel. Like, there's not a ton of apps that I've installed. There's not a app that I just constantly am in and out of. I did have to use the calendar over there, man. It's so horrible. I miss Fantastical. The Android version.
Well, they have a Windows version, so maybe.
They did a Windows version.
Maybe.
Just crank up this Android version, man. What I really have not found, and I did install Joplin on the Pixel, because I still need that send this their app, and I know I can find it later. Like, even if I forget whatever I wrote, like, I can find it. And I don't have an app like that as of yet. Joplin may be that, except that it doesn't still want to open on the Mac for some reason. And of course, there's no drafts on Android. So, I very quickly looked at Google Keep and very quickly closed that and was like, nope.
Interesting. Okay.
It's more busy. Like, the interface is just too busy. It's like, I just want to create a new note. It's like, do you want to make audio note, a picture, or recording? It's like, no, just what I'm done.
Just want a quick note.
And then I got to go look at it on the web on the computer. So that's also irritating. So yeah, we just did away with that. I do need to figure out why Joplin will not open on the Mac. Like, it'll act like it's opening, but there's not any interface to it at all. Because that could be a potential solution. Google needs to implement actions in their dialer app.
What do you mean?
Phone app. So, you know how you just did it with the iPhone, right? You can flick down on things. Yeah, like they need to implement actions. Like they have them in some places, but they're not everywhere in the system. Like they're not in messages, for example. So you can't go through and just swipe down on a message and be like, yeah, I want to mark that as read or delete that or whatever. So little things like that are kind of edge cases. I think probably one of the roughest edges I hit was when I was trying to figure out how to add my contacts, because I don't have any of the Spirals contacts on the Pixel at this point, which was problematic when I was trying to put in a Pepsi order the other day. So I was like, I should really sync. Wait, what do you mean I can't? Now, I asked GPT because I did not find anywhere to put in a CardDAV, CalDAV thing like you can on iPhone. So I asked GPT. It was like, oh, this is not something that's natively supported in Android. There's this app that you could use that would then allow you to do. I was like, man, I got to use a third-party app to sync a calendar. Like, are you serious? Not sure if I want to do that. By this time next week when we record, I will be on GrapheneOS and off of just stock Android.
Okay, on which device?
On the Pixel, still on the Pixel now. Yeah, I'm taking the Pixel 9 to GrapheneOS. Cause I need to test out this voice running at boot, which will be a major game changer, I think, for people that are interested in it. Like for me, at least that could be that was for a while a showstopper, or is the reason I never carry that as like my main phone. Cause it's like my phone reboot for any reason. It's like, I can't unlock it. Like what I look like. I'm at the store and I'm trying to, make a tap to pay purchase or something. It's like, look, can you type in my passcode for me? It's 17 digits. So are you ready? But that, again, has been the reason that I've been carrying the Pixel as my primary phone, because I have hit some rough edges, like I said, that, I would not have known was there just by doing what we normally do, or what we often do, which is you set the Pixel up and you try out a thing because it's new, or, you're testing something and you're trying that thing out, and then you put the phone down and you come back and pick it up a week later to do another thing, and like it's dead. Like, yeah, you don't encounter the fact that, I can't just sync these contacts over here like that. That's not a thing. Okay. Never would have found that out without having to carry the phone. Mail is a little better. Not sure I like it. The Fast Mail app absolutely sucks on Android. So if anybody is a Fast Mail user, don't install it.
Okay. Good to know.
It constantly refreshes like it does in the browser, except it's even worse.
Why? Can you set Fastmail up in something like Gmail? Because it's IMAP, isn't it?
Yeah,
okay.
You can.
Okay, just don't use the app.
Yeah, just don't use the Fastmail app. Like, don't do that thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can set the account up in the Gmail app or any of the other third-party mail apps that exist. Aquamail, was that the one a lot of people liked? Yeah.
Aquamail, and then there's K9 Mail as well.
Yeah, I may take a look at a couple of those. I don't like the way that I'm not liking Gmail very much.
It is clunky. Like,
it's clunky.
There's actions available, but when you get into a message thread,
that's the problem. That's exactly what I was going to say.
How do people do it? Tell us how to do it, because I would love to use it, but how?
Right, like you get into a conversation thread, and it's like, yeah, I can't even. Like it's bad when I put down the phone, go to another room, get my laptop out of a bag, and open up gmail.com in Chrome in order to get like that. And that's what it forced me to do, which kind of to a certain extent explains why maybe JJ doesn't do stuff at times that we're like, well, why didn't he just do the thing? Or, why did he have to? And probably because he wasn't home and he didn't have access to his laptop. And he's like, I can't do it on the Pixel, or I can't do it on Android because it's weird and clunky and unnecessarily, hazardous. In general, day to day, I would say it's okay. Like I don't have any major problems. I could absolutely continue to use this. There are apps, and because I'm still kind of stuck in between two systems, like and apparently Perplexity is sending me notifications to tell me something about some penguins on a train in China. Interesting. I don't know, man. Look, have you noticed this? Because you're on the beta on 26, right? And I didn't expect this to happen, but now I'm getting the notifications that pop up in Notification Center on the Mac, and I didn't think that that would kick in until you were updated to macOS 26.
I've always gotten notifications on my Mac because I set up iPhone mirroring to do that.
See, I've not ever set that up. This just started when I got on the beta, because the new thing now is that your notifications will pop in and you can click on them, and then it should launch the app on your Mac for you to interact with it from your phone or whatever. It was like, okay. So that's why I mentioned Perplexity, because it just popped up on the Mac. Like, what? Pandas? No, penguins in China? What's going on?
So I want to give a shout out to Eric from Apple. He spent an hour with me on the phone today trying to troubleshoot a unique issue. I am finding that I'm calling support more often now when things don't work instead of trying to figure it out on my own. I just don't got the time for that anymore.
Don't have time.
Yep. So I called support because what's happening. So we have a HomePod large, and Mallory's almost got me convinced. I was going to lie and say I've almost got Mallory convinced, but no, she's almost got me convinced to get a second HomePod, because that would be amazing. One HomePod is awesome. Two HomePods, oh man, like that's awesome. However, while using Apple TV, because she's finally watched her first show in Apple TV Plus, we've had it for 2 years now, and she's never watched anything in there, but her and I decided to start watching Murderbot. Pretty good show, by the way, and they're 30-minute episodes, so really like it. A security unit in the future has figured out how to pretty much jailbreak his governor module, so he doesn't have to do what humans tell him to do, but he is doing what humans tell him to do for his clients for the most part, but people are starting to figure it out, and the reason he does is he wants to watch soap operas. It's a pretty funny, very interesting and good sci-fi show. So we were watching that, and I started hearing this loud click or pop sound come from the HomePod. I'm like it almost sounds like a speaker is going out. I'm like, that's not good. We've only had this for 1.5 years, 2 years, however long it's been, but it's not good. Like, why is it doing that? And she's like, oh, it's been doing that.
You got the second generation of the big HomePod. Okay.
Yep. Well, we have that in the HomePod Mini, but she's like, oh, it's been doing that since just before you went to convention. It does it more on Netflix, doesn't do it as much on Disney, but apparently it does it a lot on Apple TV Plus. I'm like, why didn't you say something to me about this? Because that's not good. Like, we got to get this figured out. So I called Apple today, and I'm like, hey, so I got a unique issue, and I explained to him what's going on. And he's like, huh. I've never heard of that one before. So we ended up going to engineering, and engineering asked him some questions, and then they wanted me to record a video. And he's like, he can't record a video while he's on the phone with me. That doesn't work out.
Apple's not enabled that switch. You cannot record a video while you're on the phone.
Yeah. No video recording while on the phone.
Which is weird.
It is. It is kind of weird, but... So anyways, we downloaded a profile. He did screen sharing with me, and then I didn't know they could do this, but he shared a link once he was screen sharing with me, and then had me tap on the link because he can't control the phone, but he can screen share. That downloaded a profile to send HomePod diagnostics to Apple, and then he had me watch the show for a little bit while it happened and record video, and then I had to tell the exact hour, minute, and second that it happened. And engineering wanted 3 instances, and of course it didn't do it this time because that's how it always goes. Like, anyway, so we got 1 instance, and hopefully engineering will be able to pinpoint it from there. But then he called me back. He actually called me back, just saying, appreciate that, at our scheduled time. We went through, we uploaded the logs through Giga Upload or something like that. I forget the name of it, but he walked me through doing that. I had to sign in with my Apple ID. It associated the files with my case number. I uploaded the video, and then I uploaded the .zip file. You can AirPlay, well, let me rephrase that. Your HomePod can AirDrop to your phone, which is kind of a weird concept, but it makes a lot of sense. But that's how they got the diagnostics. When you tapped on export diagnostics from the HomePod device inside the Home app, it turned the light blue on the top of the HomePod, and then it took forever, but it did transfer over the file to me. It's only 250 megs. With how much I thought it was going to be, I was thinking like gigabytes or something with how long it took.
How long it took.
Yeah, but then I got that, and then I uploaded it to this service, and he says we have to give engineers 2 business days, so he's going to call me back at noon on Wednesday, so we'll see if my HomePod gets fixed. But Apple's treated me well over the last couple of months so far, so we'll see.
Good deal. Yeah, I've been considering. Definitely, I'm going to buy more minis. But I have been considering the bigger HomePods for TV speakers.
They're nice.
But
They're good headboard speakers.
If you got a headboard, you can put speakers on.
Yes. Otherwise, talk with your friend who has a 3D printer, and we can 3D print you a stand that you can just set it on.
Well, yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. See?
I need to get some stuff 3D printed.
Find me some.
Did you have that?
Yeah. Find me some files. I forget. I'll tell you what kind of files I can take because I forget what kind they are. But I'll tell you right now. And if you get me those files for them, then they are STL files.
They're St. Louis files. All right.
Yep. St. Louis files. Find me some St. Louis files. Send them over to me. I'll print them out for you.
I should have wrote a bunch of stuff down because I had a whole lot more pixel crap.
Please continue for me. I've been vibe coding this community builder, and I think we're close to being there. Like I got a UI, got a lot of stuff going together. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to push some changes here probably tonight, hopefully, because I'm only pushing when things I'm trying to fix are actually working. I'm not pushing in the middle of those.
Yep, that makes sense. That makes sense. Commit often, push rarely.
That's good. So
you
why do you want to commit often though? Because I've also been only committing when I get things working as well.
Depending on where you stop at or why you're stopping, like I would commit just so that or if you're doing, depending on the type of changes you're doing, I would commit, let's say if you're working on a bigger part of things, you may want that broken up a little bit so that if you have to go back and revert something, it's a little easier to revert. But think about it kind of like saving a file, like, you just want to make sure you don't end up losing any work. Yeah, it makes sense to commit at points that things are like kind of functioning, or you've accomplished a task. For example, let's say you're trying to build the UI, right? Like, okay, I got the backbone for the UI put together, so I would commit there because there's the UI. Screen comes up the way I want it to. Okay, now I want to move some buttons, so you get those buttons situated, then commit again, so you got those buttons in correct location or whatever. But like I said, I wouldn't push until like the whole feature is working. That way you're like, okay, cool, I can push this up because it is functioning, working code. Because you've not yet adopted the branching lifestyle of like working on a development. I think once you get done, it would make sense to then branch and make like a dev branch. And then that's when you start working on new changes or new additions and keep everything clean in the main branch. So that's always working code. Like that's production ready code. Once you got the tool to a point that you feel is production ready, for real, like keep that on a branch and only commit code to that branch, only merge code into that branch when it's fully functioning.
Gotcha. Okay. Git commit -m quote builder created UI buttons added and keystrokes activating buttons. See that commit message makes sense to me. The UI is created, the buttons are there, and the keystrokes to activate those buttons are working.
Excellent. That's a good deal.
So have you gotten any feedback? Have you had a chance to look at any feedback? Otherwise,
I took a quick peek.
Or?
I took a quick peek, and we don't have anything new that's in, except somebody trying to sell us something. So apparently our email has gotten out there.
Oh, what are they selling us?
Now we're getting spam. So that's awesome. But no, I see your email that you sent in the other day about keyboard maestro.
Yeah. Yep.
So feedback at technicallyworking.show, because we are reading that as it comes in and sometimes doing something with it. I think we did have a good, like, we cleaned out a lot of our stuff when we did our feedback show, and like, if I'm not mistaken, that came out 2 weeks ago.
Yep,
so
2 weeks
give
ago.
people a little time to see what's happening. I don't know what I'm doing, because iOS is really looking interesting to me. Like, they're doing a lot of fun stuff. I still want to figure out where the hell these names are stored if you just name an unknown number and not save it as a new contact.
I don't think you've talked about that on the show.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of interesting stuff. So now in 26, at least as of right now, this could change because the interface could change altogether, but you can add a name to a number that's not in your contacts without creating a contact.
I wonder if adding that name is what tells Apple that, yes, it's okay to send this caller to my phone instead of screening them.
I don't know. I thought about that as possibly being a way for you to label, a business without having to save a whole contact, because that gets annoying and tedious at times too. It's like, I don't talk to these people enough. I need to save their, like, I would like to know it's them calling, but I gotta go create a whole contact. And then I'm very meticulous about my contacts, or at least I became very meticulous about my contacts. So I don't do that thing that people do where they put like the business name in the first name field and then like that's the contact. Like, no, I go put it in the company name field because that's where it's supposed to go. And I put in their phone number and their main number and their fax number.
Email and birthday and shipping address.
Yeah, sometimes I don't take it that far. I do put in people's birthdays if they're important enough for me to put their birthdays in, and I know their birthday. I really don't know when people are born. So Mallory's 3 this year.
Oh, okay. That's interesting because you don't have to put a year.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't? And it still says she's 30?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well, now that could have been because of when I added it. Maybe things have changed in the way contact, because they've done some serious underlying changes to contacts over the past couple of years that I think people don't notice. Like, you can manage your groups. They call them lists now, but you can manage your groups and create them and delete them and stuff in the phone app or the contacts app. And that is not an iOS beta 26 thing. But it's a thing that people haven't talked about because I think everybody just gave up on Apple ever letting us manage groups in our contacts. Go get a third-party app for that, kid.
CardDAV.
Yeah, that's what I've been using for the
man.
Which is why I didn't notice it.
I almost said someone had a birthday the other day. So Mallory had a birthday the other day, and CardDAV notified me of that. And I'm like, because I've had my sounds on because of this job, I want to hear the ringtone. And I'm like, what is that notification sound? And then I looked at my status bar, and it was CardDAV. I'm like, I've never heard that sound before. It's kind of a cool sound for the birthday.
Yeah, I've not heard it either, actually. Because I just now turned like some notification sounds on the Pixel, and it's because I laid this phone down a lot more than I did the iPhone. It's like, yeah, I won't miss a call.
Why is that?
I don't know. I kind of feel like there's more friction to doing certain things, but I don't know if that's a reality or if that's a hangover of previous Android years. Because one thing I did on the Pixel that I hadn't, 2-3 years ago, there's no way in hell I'd have tried it. But it was late Wednesday and I got thrown off a little bit, partially coming back a day late, kind of threw my days off. So I kept thinking that was Tuesday and I didn't run payroll.
Oh.
And I thought about it at like 10:30 and I was at the rest area and I was like, shit, I got to run the payroll. I was like, oh crap. So hold on, let me go back and fix that. You had to beat that out. I just realized what I said. So I'm at the rest area. I was like, crap, I got to run payroll. So I pull up Firefox and I log in and I get the payroll ran. Now I didn't check anything. I just ran the payroll. Like the hours kind of look roughly right from the days I know you worked and where I sent her. So, I don't have any quibbles, but I did get the payroll ran. And that's something I know years ago I never would have even have attempted to do something that complex or involved on Android.
And how'd that go? Was it a pretty smooth?
It was actually a whole lot smoother than I expected.
Okay.
It really didn't take me as long as I thought it was going to take me to get it done. There were scrolling issues like that. That's kind of a thing with WebView seemingly still is like trying to scroll is not consistent. Whereas with Apple, I can 3-finger flick up and like it moves. And the 2-finger flick sometimes will move stuff, sometimes doesn't. So I found that to be a bit of an issue. Another discovery I did make, and I haven't tried this with the AirPods yet, but I did try it with the Power Beats Pros 2s or whatever they're called. The newest Power Beats, the ones that will monitor your heart rate if you have them in your ears. Those. So I was like, okay, I will use these with the Pixel as earbuds because I'm not going to wear the shocks everywhere because I just don't. But it's like, okay, I put them in pairing mode by holding down the button inside the case, and then they showed up, and I paired them to the Pixel. And I was like, all right, cool. And had them paired for a couple of days, and I was like, oh, I really kind of miss using these on the computer when I just randomly grab the laptop and, sit somewhere in the house and do some work. It's like, oh, maybe they support like multi-device pairing when they're not, tied to Apple stuff or whatever. Right. So I was like, okay, let me go look at how to put them in pairing mode again without losing the connection to the Pixel. I did find out you can do that with those. So if they're not paired to Apple, then you can pair them to 2 different devices. They don't do the automatic switching, of course, but not many headphones do.
Mm-hmm.
But what I discovered in this journey, because I was like, oh, I can set up maybe I can set the shortcut up again in AirBuddy, on the Mac to be able to just hit this shortcut and have it connect to the Beats. Cause I have a shortcut set up that if I have any Apple earbuds in my ear, and I hit this shortcut, it will connect automatically to whatever those earbuds are. And I look in AirBuddy and I see the Beats are still there. I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Like, why they shouldn't still be showing up because they, to my knowledge, it should not be attached to my iCloud account anymore because I just paired them with the Pixel phone. Well, it turns out they're still working in Apple world too. So all I have to do is just, if they're connected to the Pixel, to switch them to the iPhone or to an Apple device, I need to go to Bluetooth and tap on that device, tap on them to make them connect, right? But once they're connected back to something in Apple, they just work like they always did in Apple. So you can switch, I turn automatic switching off, which is one of my best pieces of advice to people is like turn it off. Cause it's irritating because it always switches when you don't want it to switch.
Yep.
At least if you're me.
It does.
Also go to most devices and say, don't automatically reconnect back to these at any given time. Like that's what I turn off in the device settings. But once I was, paired to the computer with them, I hit my shortcut and they connected instantly. I was like, oh, this is cool. All right. I disconnect and they revert back to connecting to the phone because that's to the iPhone because that's their default device to connect to. That's the only thing I have given permission with the iCloud setup to be like, always automatically connect to these when they're loose. So didn't really have to get rid of my headphones at all or do weird stuff like carry around 2 sets of headphones, which nobody's going to do. Well, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to say nobody's going to do it. Somebody's writing right now. I would do that. But I didn't want to do that. So this one pair of earbuds can work on the Pixel and still participate fairly in the Apple ecosystem. So made me happy to discover that. Like I said, I hadn't tried it out with the AirPods to see if they also behave similarly, but that was unexpected from a user standpoint that one Apple would have did things in such a way that would actually even work. Don't know how they did it, but thank you. Good job, Apple. This is the Apple Celebration Show. They did great. Mike's getting good support. My earbuds work everywhere. Like I'm cool.
something wasn't working. So I told GitHub Copilot, can you add a log so you can, so we can clearly diagnose what's going on and why it's not working? And it said, yeah, I'd love to. And it added it and said, it's there. And then I'm like, okay, so do I need to get it from PowerShell? And it's like, no, I just added it to the bottom of the window you're in. So next time you open that window, you can just copy that log from the bottom. And I shift tabbed, and right there was the log. And I think that's pretty damn cool.
Let's just add it to the bottom of this window.
Like, thank you. You knew that I really didn't want to copy out of PowerShell, but and I was going to ask you to write it to a text document, but that's even easier.
Right.
Oh,
that is cool. So you're working on the community builder project.
Yep.
That Mike. This is what Mike does. Like, you're always working on this thing.
I'm what?
I said, you're always working on this thing. Like,
man, this is my new life. Like, I'm not complaining about it, but I want to get it done. So honestly, I can go do some other things as well. And if I can, I even have it low vision. So it's 18-point font, Arial, black on white. When there's links located in it, then those links are Dodger blue on white, which is the ACB guidelines that the Board of Publications put together for
low vision style guy.
Yeah, low vision styling. So I did it that way because I'm like, if I can get this, then eventually I can say, hey, do we have a volunteer who's interested in running this? And honestly, it really shouldn't take much. And I have an evil plan. I'll share my evil plan with anyone who might be listening to this show, and send us an email, feedback@technicallyworking.show, if you hear this evil plan. Because right now, we have Google Forms that are capturing data, and then we're copying that data into different places, and then we have to use our brains to be able to find a Zoom meeting or an account that's open, and there's just a lot of back and forth. So ultimately, I want this to be the ultimate generator of the schedule. So if Damashe goes to acb.community, unofficial domain, not sanctioned by ACB, but if you go there, it does take you to the ACB community page, and Damashe submits an event, then hopefully I'll get to the point where my builder will give me a list of pending events that all I have to do is hit approve, and then it adds everything. No more copying and pasting, nothing else like that. It'll generate the other things that we need, whether that be the daily schedule, or that be the weekly schedule that we send out to event planners, or that be the hosting portal that we put up at 6 p.m. on Thursdays. There's no reason Cindy or I need to be copying and pasting columns of data into Google Sheets at exactly 6 p.m. so people can go in and put in their request to participate or be a host in an event. That should be automated, because there are ways with the Google Sheets API to restrict editing of a sheet until a specific time. And once this program is done, then it'll know all of the events that we'll need, and it'll be able to put that data in a place that even if people are able to preview what events are up, like maybe Thursday morning when I send out the weekly email, the scheduling portal goes live so people can see what events are in there, and then they can't edit anything until 6 p.m. And then once 6 p.m. comes around, which is the time where they can go add their name in a specific spot for either hosting, broadcasting, or streaming, then they'll be able to do that. And so right now, this is I'm spending a lot of time trying to do something that, frankly, I've probably spent more time working on than it would take me to build the schedules out myself. But as I see it come together, I start to think of other plans for this program, and this is just the version 1 of it. And
right.
What are we going to build onto it to improve the experience for everyone? And then, of course, I get to go do other things that I also enjoy doing within the organization. I'm all about automate my job so less mistakes are made, not because I am partially lazy, but so less mistakes are made because that'll also give me a chance to help in other places in the organization, finding ways to automate and become more efficient.
And that's what it's all about. And that is also what automation is in general. You feel like you spend 10 hours trying to automate a thing that takes 2 minutes, but by the time you're done, you probably have learned something, which is always great, keeping your brain flexible. But more importantly, you have set things up so it is like you said, a repeatable system, which means there are less mistakes. And once you have gotten this to, let's say, feature completion or mostly there to where you're satisfied with feature set and it does everything, not only does it reduce mistakes that happen, but it also means that in a pinch, anybody else can step in and pick this up and be able to use it to accomplish the task without having to know all the things that you had to learn to do this by hand, like to manually do all of this. And again, cutting down on those mistakes, right? You didn't accidentally paste the wrong thing in the wrong cell and now 2 meetings are happening at the same time in the same Zoom room.
Oh, it's like it's like I've talked to you about, hey, this has happened to me before.
I mean, that's the thing that you just got to expect is going to happen. I don't remember if you ever actually told me that or not, but it just seems like a thing that would happen, right? Because you're copying and pasting, right? And I've done it. Like I'm trying to copy and paste stuff between 2 spreadsheets and it's like, oh crap, I just ended up with, I don't know, I overwrote the same cell like 7 times.
Yep. And my brain, I don't know if your brain works this way, but if you start doing the same thing over and over, my brain kind of shuts down. And then that's when more mistakes start
That's
happening,
when mistakes happen.
Yeah.
That is exactly what, because it gets so repetitive and redundant, right?
Yep.
You just kind of start to doze off and you find yourself half asleep and you're like, oh, wait, what did I just do?
Yeah.
You go back and check your
what
work.
What have I been doing for the last 3 minutes?
Right. That's it. Like, wait, what was I doing for the past 30 minutes? Oh man, I just pasted this.
Where did I mess up?
17 times. Clipboard history.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ditto on Windows and Launch Bar on Mac. So, well, unless you have anything else, we should wrap it up. I do want to let people know that I did not get a reminder, so I believe that is currently broken. I just looked, but I anticipate that it'll be working. Oh, hold on. If I go in here to phone,
did it add it to the reminders app though? Even
I don't know. Let me go in here to phone. I'm gonna close phone because it's trying to get me. Okay. If I go to calls, it still has you there. But I can mark it as completed now. That was not the case. Well, I never looked at that actually. But remember, when we originally did this, and I don't know if there's been an update since then, mark as completed wasn't there. But I don't remember there being a reminders heading as well. So I'm gonna open reminders. Oh. Maybe I have to finish setting up reminders.
that should not stop anything.
There is a reminder here called Callback Damashe Thomas Incomplete. But that's in my reminders from yesterday, 11:55 a.m., which is when we did this last, right?
Yep.
Let me... What does go to in-call service mean?
I think that'll launch the call, like actually launch the call for you.
Let's see. Yep, sure did. Hanging up. That's pretty cool, though. That you can call the person back right there from reminders, too. So I'm going to play with this, and we'll have to tune in. Well, you'll have to tune in to learn more. We can go add notes. So that means I can add a note to the reminder for why I wanted to call Damashe back. I wonder if for some reason I had to go through that quick welcome screen that told me what's new in reminders and hit continue. I am getting push notifications from reminders, but I will try now and see if that works. I'll set some reminders and try to follow up with people.
Yeah, like that is a feature I'm looking at right now, and like working as expected. I'm looking at the Pixel and like, why does Google not have this? Google, you should have this. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, interesting if anybody out there also has tried. I think it's called True Phone. So alternative dialer for Android.
Okay.
Supposedly it has the feature built in where it can give you different ringtones for different lines.
Gotcha. Well, anything else before we wrap it up, sir?
Nope. I want to thank everybody for listening. As always, big shout out to our tip jar supporters. If you're interested in becoming one, you can go to technicallyworking.show and click on the support us link there, and you can become a tip jar subscriber. Of course, we appreciate everybody who listens, and, most important thing you can do is listen, for sure. Next most important thing you could do is, tell a like-minded person that might find the show interesting to, check us out. And go leave us a review in Apple Podcasts, or Pocket Casts.
Wherever you can.
Because some apps have this built in, like I don't really know how that affects anything.
Google how to leave a review for my favorite podcast.
There you go. Or ask ChatGPT.
Yeah, ask ChatGPT.
Or Gemini if you're on.
Don't ask Siri, though.
No, well, you can ask Siri if you have the GPT turned on. And then she'll go out and actually ask GPT. It is surprising how many times I ask questions now to Siri and I get back the answer, and also the little writer on the end that says, this answer was provided by ChatGPT. And it's like, you kind of should have been able to answer that math question. Like, geez, lazy.
What's 20% of 143, Siri? And then it asks ChatGPT.
Yep. And then now I see this in my Chat GPT conversation history also. Yeah.
Lazy. That's interesting. So does your responses through Siri give you your custom prompt details too?
That I don't know. I don't know how to actually test that. Maybe ask it something about me to see if it can ask a chat.
Yeah, there you should ask it something about you and see what it does. Yeah,
I'll try that because I put in something earlier today, and I don't remember what it was. I asked ChatGPT something, and it came back with, this is how this works, yada, yada, yada. So with your Pixel 9 Pro, you could do it. I was like, so you remember that part, huh? Last bit before we get out of here with the social media. I asked ChatGPT a question. Now, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked ChatGPT in the exact same way I asked it, which is, do you know the average selling price for body armor?
For what?
Body armor.
Oh, body armor. Okay. No.
But what do you think I'm talking about?
I think you're talking about the drink.
Yes. That is what I was talking about.
Okay.
Actually, the specific question to ChatGPT was, can you find me the average selling price of body armor at gas stations and convenience stores? Right?
What did it come back with?
Body armor is I don't remember is it, but basically, body armor is a thing that's regulated by the military and it's not for selling. I was like, are you fucking serious?
Wow. Huh. Yeah. No, I knew you were talking about a drink. Like, come on, Siri.
This is directly in ChatGPT. This wasn't even a Siri query because, Siri gets stuck on that one and wouldn't know how to ask GPT. Yeah, it was so fun. I will share the results of that with you in a sec because I just closed the conversation at that point and started a whole new. I was like, you know what? That's too good to just even fix that. Like, I got to move on and try it again. Good grief.
Wow.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. You can follow us. He is on Mastodon Payon, Payon, at dragonscave.space. I am Damashe, Damashe, at technically.social. And the bot that we mentioned can be followed, TW, at technically.social. And as Mike mentioned, the hashtag technically working is a good way to interact with us as well. And we appreciate it if you capitalize the T and the W because it makes the various screen readers say the words right. Email can go to feedback@technicallyworking.show. This has been episode 120.
120.
Working.
Boom. And I think I just solved my problem by looking at debug logs and actually reading them. Like, for some reason, it wasn't selecting. While using the arrow keys, the event wasn't being selected. So JAWS was reading it, but PyTide 6 wasn't identifying it.
It wasn't moving the selection.
Yep. See?
In line with the cursor.
But now I know what to look for next time I run into this type of issue. Again, you learn something.
Now I know what to tell developers of websites when their crap doesn't work. Like, hey, you're not making the item selectable.
Yes.
With the arrows. Like, fix that.